Okay, I think we're live finally. I don't know how long it's gonna take y'all to find this video stream because I had the other one scheduled. But hopefully people hop on here in just a second. Until then, I'm gonna try to figure out how to cancel this other one because yeah, for the first time in quite some time, I actually tried to schedule my live so you know I'm on here. But when I tried to go live, the actual button that you hit to go live was not working. So, not sure what that was about. But hey, what's up, Adam? Glad you're on here. I know several of y'all are probably over on the other chat, and I don't know how to share this link to over there while I still chat over here without getting really close to the camera and trying to type like half the Zoom meetings my dad used to be on looked like. But anyway, hey, it looks like y'all are finding it. Awesome. Glad y'all are on here. I got a little more energy than I did last week too. Asher, what's up? JC's on here. Adam's on. Double Adam tonight. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize. From Moldova. What's up? Glad you're here. Cowboy Jeff, Max, Imwane, 2 Abrams, Jonathan. We got a bunch of people on here. Josiah. We are going to ramble tonight. Absolutely. And I'm excited for it. So I honestly don't even know where we left off on Africa last week. So if you have any specific questions you want to know about our trip to Africa, I'm here for it. Otherwise, I will try to decide which area I want to start rambling about first. But I do apologize. Outside of my tech difficulties that I had once I tried to get on here, I was already late because I was talking to my brother and we were going down the rabbit hole of insurance and all of those fun things that we're working through for the machine gun shoot. And I figured out that the insurance company I'm using does like specialized Santa Claus insurance. And I was like cracking up because I had no idea that specialized Santa Claus insurance was an actual thing until tonight. So naturally I sent it to my dad so we can wake up to that tomorrow. Anyway, just call me M1. Got it. You got it. Hey, beautiful. Well, I'll just put that right back to you. I was going to read that comment. Hello. What's up? Happy Tuesday. Anybody do anything fun this last week before we start talking about Africa and anything else we get into tonight? I'm kind of surprised it's Tuesday because yesterday felt like a Sunday and today felt like a Thursday. But also there's a spider on my wall that I'm watching right now. Saw your pic over on Instagram of you fishing. It was just a bass. They actually had, I guess, our kind of bass over there. So I was surprised because I thought I don't know what kind of fish are native to South Africa, except I think tiger fish maybe. But anyway, I was surprised when we were catching like bass that I recognized, which was fun. Oh, and so this thing that we'll start fishing. My hair is driving me crazy tonight. Sorry, it's like just too much or something. So fishing in Africa, super fun, super different than fishing in America because, well, at least anywhere but Florida. I'm not really sure. I know for sure we don't have crocodiles around here. So, like you see all those videos of people catching their fish and they go to release it and they swish it around in the water. You don't do that in Africa. Why? Because a crocodile is probably going to snatch your arm off of you. It's a thing there. So it was kind of funny. We got in the boat and my husband went to like push off and like started to lean over to push off on the not wall, but the land. He went to reach and push off on the land, and the fellow that was on the boat, that's Niku, he was like, no, do not lean over the boat. And it's like, oh wait, yeah, we're in Africa. There's for sure things that can eat you here. Craziest thing about Africa, you'll hear me say this quite a few times, literally everything is armed. We can define what that means later. I don't know why I almost said lazy. Okay, I thought I was awake, but apparently half of me is awake. My mouth is going to be saying words that my brain's not thinking. So that is a very typical Tuesday. I'm still waiting for new homemade body armor videos with Kentucky Ballistics or Demolition Ranch. Hey, tell them you want to see me on their channel, and I'll try to make it happen. I have some other ideas for body armor. Outside of that, I do The only body armor I've really used as far as like actual company body armor is Premier Body Armor, and I'm very impressed with it. I like their different options that they have, but I would like to try to make some other concoctions of things and see what they can stop. That would be a lot of fun. Rachel, love your kind of day that you do. Thank you so much, JC. I have really been enjoying it myself. When I go back to Africa, because I'm already putting that out there that I'd really like to go back. I want to do a lot more with some of their calibers and guns that they have there that we don't really use out here, because I think that'd be super interesting. Did you get the Star Trek? Yes, I did. Adam, I finally saw those pictures. Thank you so much for sharing them with me. Um, your mouth is on another planet, apparently. Yeah, sometimes I wonder about myself, actually, a lot. Is there anything that crocodiles and alligators won't eat? Asher, are you in the comments? Don't you know a thing or two about a reptile or two? Calling you out if you're still on here. The people need to know. I mean, I would assume they wouldn't eat. I don't know. They sure left the hippos alone. I will say that. So, okay, this was interesting. One of the days we broke for lunch. So schedule out there. We would get up somewhere between like 6 and 8. We'd have breakfast depending on the day. A couple of days we started super early. Some days we didn't leave until like 8:30 after lunch. Salads. They won't eat salads. Excellent answer. Thanks, Asher. Um, anyway, so we would go out and then we'd come back for lunch like around 11:45, something like that. Eat lunch, and then there was usually like a few hour break, unless we went directly back out, which we did do a couple of days. I don't know. It was a little bit different every day, but there was usually a little break time between like 12 and 3, and that was kind of downtime. You can nap if you wanted to. I love that schedule. I'm trying to adopt it at home with my normal work life, but that's probably not going to happen until after the machine gun shoot, just for the amount of work I got on my plate right now. But one of the days we were eating lunch and we looked out over the balcony down where the dam and the river started. It wasn't much of a river at this point because it's dry season. But anyway, I can make a story really long by rambling. It's part of the joy of this channel, right? Anyway, we looked down there and there was some sort of dead critter that a crocodile was trying to lunch on while we were lunching, and we're looking over there and we're kind of watching things. Then we notice that the hippo is watching this whole situation happen, and then we see the hippo come over and scare the crocodiles off. And I didn't know that a hippo would eat a goat. I kind of associated them with more salads, I guess, or fruit or something like that. But yeah, I saw a hippo eat a goat of some sort. I'm not really sure exactly what the critter was. I don't think it was an actual goat, but it was something goat-ish. And yeah, we saw it eat that. So that was pretty crazy. And then we actually left shortly after we saw the hippo take the goat, and it was kind of like chewing on it for a little while. And when we drove past it, like drug it under the water and went further deep into the water. It was super interesting though. So what I was going to say is a crocodile will not fight off a hippo for food. And yeah, that was basically my really long version of what crocodiles will or won't eat. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. What did y'all do this week? Anything fun? Any kind of competitions or range time or exciting trips? I'm waiting. So obviously I'm home now. Back in my office tonight too, because I actually found the muscle to carry this chair all the way upstairs. I was looking at ordering myself a chair today, and I did not do it yet because it was the one I kind of thought I wanted was more expensive than I remembered, and they're sold out of that version. So I think I'm just going to go with something completely different. But Adam, take a lot of photos. Absolutely. I'm trying to figure out the best way to share them all without like completely overloading the world with all these pictures. I also have not even spoken or shared anything about what I got out in Africa as far as hunting wise. I'm trying to figure out the best way to deliver that too. I haven't really posted a whole lot. Obviously, I was in Africa, and obviously, that I was there on a safari and we were hunting. But even just saying that I was out there and saying that I was hunting has already like brought on quite a bit of hate on Facebook, which has been super interesting. People building up stories that they have nothing about and going and communicating that I was part of this or that, and I have been killing dozens of animals out in Africa, which is not true at all. Honestly, and I think that this is true for a lot of hunters. You end up watching a whole lot more than you actually end up killing. I don't. I personally don't love killing an animal, but I love hunting. I love watching them. I love learning about them. I love seeing them interact. I love all of that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where people get this whole like take a little bit of information and build this huge story up and try to paint a picture of you being a monster when they literally know nothing about you. But that's what we're dealing with on Facebook right now, and we'll be working through that. And I'm sure when I do post the picture of the couple things I did get while I was out in Africa, then there's going to be a whole heyday. But went to a gun auction, but struck out. Everything went high. That is a bummer. I hate to hear that. I found out my dad went to an auction while I was out of town without me, obviously, because I was not here. And they had, so I love ammo crates. I just love them so much. I think I had like 15 or something that I used in my wedding for like different decor. And then I have one that I use as a coffee table, a couple that I use for a TV stand, some here and there that I use around the house for decor and stuff. But anyway, they had ammo crates for like 40, not 40 bucks. They had them for 15 bucks. My dad said they went for $15 and they had to ship them to New York. And I was like, what a bummer, Dad. Why did you not buy me this $15 ammo crate? I would have been so happy because there were a couple, I think probably 6 of them that I paid 40 bucks a piece for my wedding. So I am bummed that he did not get me that $15 crate, and I will be bothering him about that for a while. Anyway, gun auction story. Have y'all been watching what they have at Rock Island Auction House? Because that stuff is crazy right now. Next time you go to Africa, you should try piri piri chicken. Is that how you say that? It's my favorite African dish. I love all things spicy. Whew. Okay, if it's spicy, might be where I have a little bit of a problem because I don't do a whole lot of spice. My idea of like a hot sauce is like ketchup. So, or sometimes I'll use ketchup to like tone down a hot sauce. But I did decide before I went to Africa that I was going to try everything, and I pretty much held true to that. As far as, except I did not try one of their beers that they had, and I did not try. What else did I not try? I think one whiskey, but everything else, all the food I tried. And sometimes I can be a picky eater, but I don't care what it is out there. If Zuliani, the cook that we had, makes it, I will eat it, no questions asked. She is hands down the best cook. I don't know. I think we talked about this last week. If she were to make a cookbook, I think she'd be a zillionaire. Anyway, did you get a gazelle? No. But we could play the guessing game if you want to. Asher, I started reading your comment, the haters gonna hate comment, but I thought it said something else. And I thought it was a fun rhyme. I was excited to read it. Anyway, yeah, they are. Didn't do much this last weekend, but Thursday is my birthday. Hey, happy early birthday. You're going to do amount of what you got. So on that, and I think I may have touched on this before. So I've never really been huge into taxidermy. Well, I like it at other people's houses, but I just never really thought, like, I've never really been a big trophy hunter as far as deer, whitetail stuff goes here. That's really the extent of my hunting for the most part, other than what else have I hunted? Pheasants. I did pheasants with Brunells, and then I did grouse and woodcock last October. And I did save the tail from my grouse so that I will have that hung as a picture, pressed and hung. But yeah, I've never been really big into trophy hunting. More specifically, we just try to fill the freezer, and that's what I like to do. Now, that's not to say that if the trophy book were to walk out in front of me, obviously I'm going to take the shot and I would definitely have that mounted. But so in going to Africa, I was thinking, I'll probably come out of this, maybe get Euro mounts with what we get out there. And that completely changed after I pulled the trigger. Completely changed. So yes, I am planning on hopefully I'm going to have 2 shoulder mounts and a Euro. I will eventually tell y'all what they are. I kind of like the idea of the guessing game though. So I will have those and I will get the skin back from the one that I do, the Euro mount. So yes, I got stuff going and then I got to decide where I want to put it. I'm thinking something's going in here. And then I'm talking with my husband about whether or not we're going to put something in the living room or the dining room or somewhere, but I want it to be seen because it's a very beautiful animal and I'm very excited. I started shooting my bow for the first time in 5 years. Hey, that's exciting. I love that. I can't believe how fast bow season is coming up. I've never hunted with a bow, but I think it'd be fun to learn. I do have targets for it. I don't really know much about it other than that, though. I've tried it a couple of times, but never really got into it too much. But maybe it won't be this year. Maybe next year is the year. How old is Rapid Fire Dad? I'd love to see him on these live chats more. So your wish might be coming true because we've got a lot to do next week, and it involves driving all around South Carolina and meeting as many people as we can and trying to make as many friends as we can before the machine gun shoot coming up here in 6 weeks. So on that note, if anybody on here is from South Carolina and has a particular gun store that you absolutely love that I need to go talk to and make friends at, please let me know. Or just, send me a message, shoot me an email, tell me where to go, or I'll be reading these comments the same too. And my dad is 60. I think he's 60 this year. Yeah, he is. He's 60. I don't know if it's rude of me to tell his age, but okay. I'm going to Florida this Thursday to help move two of my cousins here to South Carolina. Hey, South Carolina. Oh, speaking of the devil, my dad just emailed me. I should probably turn my email notifications off while I'm on here. But that was kind of funny. It's like he knows I'm talking. Well, now I know he's not watching too, and I know he's awake. So actually, he's in trouble now. Anyway, going to Florida. What part of Florida are you going to, JC? That'll be fun. And bless you for helping your cousins move because that's a lot of work. Oh my gosh, yes, this current batch of Rock Island auction is nuts. Yeah, I can't believe it. I got to see some of the stuff that they were gonna have in this one when they were at NRA's annual meeting. So pretty darn crazy. I wish I could get up there before the actual. Well, I don't know. Did it already happen or is it the one that's coming up? I might be confused or off. Dale, what's up? Glad you're on here. I'm way behind on comments and I barely even touched the surface of all the things that we could potentially ramble about tonight. But the beauty of that is there's always next week and I'll never stop rambling. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the reading. How was the food, Adam? I already said this once. The food. So the day that we got into South Africa and checked in at Africa Sky, I guess it was Africa Sky. Yes, I think that's right. They told us at dinner that night that we will have the best food we've ever had in our lives in South Africa. And they were right. They were so right. I have missed, since coming home, I have missed the food and the balance of food. It might be because I work at home and sometimes getting up in the middle of the day to make like a balanced lunch is inconvenient, but I definitely ate a whole lot better out there and I ate a whole lot more out there. So I was kind of surprised about that. I was kind of thinking that I was going to go to South Africa and like shed 20 pounds or something because we're going to be running around doing all kinds of crazy sorts of things out there. And I wouldn't be eating a whole lot because I'm picky and I might not like the food, but I was so wrong. It was very good food. The food was amazing. Yes. They have a video up on YouTube with the finale. Oh, the final sales price. Oh, crazy. I need to go look at that. Um, catching up. Hydro dip the euro amount in what? What should it look like? Or should I just keep it regular? You need a crock or something on the wall behind you. Okay, so I will throw this out there. I did not hunt a crocodile, but that is definitely something that is on my list for some point in my life. So alligator and crocodile. And I want to go iguana hunting again. Is there going to be an AA-12 at All American Machine Gun Show? I don't know. How cool would that be, though? We do have a rental company coming out, and they've got I. He's going to get me a list of what all is going to be there, but it's going to be awesome. That's all I can tell you. What animals would you not never hunt? Um, hmm, that's a hard question. I don't think I could. I don't think I could hunt a bear, but I don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, I think you can't. I'm not really familiar. I think you can hunt elephants. I'm not really interested in hunting an elephant personally. Um, Not really interested in hunting a giraffe personally. But like, in that same note, if somebody else is interested in doing those things, I don't judge them. There are conservation reasons and all sorts of things going on, but I don't think those are a couple of animals that I personally don't think I could hunt. Um, I see crocodile underneath that though, and I can definitely hunt a crocodile. Um, I want to bow hunt too. Can we learn together? Hey, please let me know. We can check in on Tuesday nights and talk about progress. If anybody else wants to join in, we can do that too. You put off an aura that seems really wholesome. Do you have a relationship with our creator? Yes, I do. Leesburg, Florida. Oh my gosh, I love Leesburg. I used to go there for like quite a few events. Um, where are you in South Carolina? Oh, excuse me, I'm reading this totally wrong. Where in South Carolina are you doing the machine gun shoot? Lawrence, South Carolina at the Sawmill Training Complex. Very excited. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's right south of Greenville, in between Greenville and Columbia, I believe, about the same distance from either one. And yeah, it should be a heck of a time. I'm pretty darn excited. I actually talked to the radio station today about some advertisements, and they were asking if I wanted to come in and record it myself or if I wanted to have somebody there do it. And I told them I do not want to talk on the radio because if if I did try to talk on the radio, there's I don't know, it just wouldn't be good. But it would take probably a lot more of their time. So anyway, pretty excited about talking with the radio for ad slots. CMM, are you going to the CMMG shoot? Yes, my ticket is booked. So I am making time for that between now and the machine gun shoot. I'm pretty darn excited because I do love CMMG. I got a lot of their products, and I owe y'all so much right now. I still have several videos I need to dump out here for y'all. Armed Atlas, what's up? Glad you're on here. Did you catch any Goliath tiger? So it is tigerfish in Africa. No, all I caught was bass, and I didn't catch a whole lot of them because, and I blame this in case they're listening. The other fellas that were out there with us, we didn't know them until we got there, but we absolutely enjoyed getting to know them the week that we were out there. They went out hunting. They went out fishing first that day, and my husband, myself, and the guys from Grizz Media all went hunting that same morning, and then we swapped. So we were fishing in the afternoon, and we had just scared a hippo back into the water when we were driving back to go fishing. So we didn't catch a whole lot. And the guys earlier in the day caught a ton, and we kept those fish and had those for dinner. So that was pretty cool. But no, I didn't see any tigerfish, but I would have absolutely loved to. So I got to go back, right? I mean, it's only fair. Mississippi alligator season is on now for a few more weeks. Cool. Okay. Well, I don't know how that works, but I don't know if I need a Mississippi alligator or Florida alligator, but I know you have to have tags, I assume, right? How was the iguana hunt when you went? Incredible. Sorry, I just saw a text come through and I got distracted. The iguana hunt was really fun. So I was on a boat with 4 guys from our group, and then the guide and his son were on the boat with us. So there's 6 of us total. There was 2 air guns on our boat. We were hunting with air guns, and then so we would swap off, right? So like 2 of us would be shooting, and the other 2 would be like spotting, helping you see them up in the trees. It was really like high action, a lot of energy, and then it was just like team effort. So you'd swap off guns, or I really enjoyed jumping off the boat to go catch the iguanas or retrieve the iguanas. We did have a dog for that, but yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. Plus, I had Mr. Hootie Hoo on my boat too, and he actually dove in the water to get his iguana, which was insane. I think he has a video of that on his channel. But yeah, it was an overall incredible experience. Like I said, high energy, jam packed, lot going on. And then we met back up with the rest of our group and compared iguana, I don't know what you want to call it, lots, I guess, something like that. We compared our iguanas afterwards. We had a lot of monsters on our boat too, so that was pretty cool. Armed Atlas just stopping by to say hello. Well, I'm glad you jumped on here. I ramble a lot, so I don't blame you for not staying the whole time, but I appreciate you here. Not met my husband. I gotta make. Yeah, well, so I haven't talked a whole lot about this on here, at least. Or maybe I did once or twice, but maybe y'all just have to listen again. I appreciate that. So for the last, I think it's been 5 years now. My husband has had a job that kept him traveling 100% of the time. His job was 100% travel. So we got married in 2020. I had a brief break with him then where he was actually home because of COVID restrictions and whatnot. They actually let him work from home full time for the remainder of that year. And then 2021 came around. So 6 months into our marriage, he went back to traveling 100% for work. And as of July, right before we went on our trip to Africa, he is home now 100% of the time for a full year. So pretty daggone crazy. It's kind of an adjustment, right? Because we got so used to, I see him on the weekend or I see him like for limited amounts of time. And now I got him home all the time, which is, I'm loving it, like actually loving it. It's pretty crazy. And honestly, could not be more perfect timing to have him home because of all of the things that are on my plate right now leading up to an event. It's been really nice to have him home to like, support, I guess. Keep me level-headed and not completely losing my mind. But yes, so he'll actually be able to come to some events now and hopefully meet you. So pretty cool. He usually doesn't watch my lives, but I will tell him you said welcome home. And absolutely loving the time. He's gonna be home for at least 1 full year, but I think after the year's up with his detail, he's probably going. I don't know if he's gonna stay working from the office or what, but we at least got a year to figure that out. So pretty exciting. And I'm actually really excited for him to be able to come on events with me and actually meet everybody that I work with and that kind of stuff. And he'll be at the machine gun shoot. So pretty daggum excited for that. Anyway. I will never hunt wolves, even if that were to become legal, because I love wolves. I love wolves too. I'll do them. Just send me what you wanted to say. Oh, Bill, why did I not think of that? I will definitely send you my ad things. They made some like the radio people made some like quick ads, but definitely needed some editing because I don't think they knew exactly what some of the words meant regarding machine gun, different things and whatnot. So yeah, I'll send that to you actually, because that'd be awesome. Nice the sawmill. I just looked it up and it's only 2 hours for me. Hey, that's awesome. Yes, please come. It's gonna be awesome. We've got several pretty cool sponsors, vendors. We have a main firing line of machine gunners. It's 66 machine gunners. I can't tell you how many guns because honestly, I have no idea. But it should be a good show. It should be an absolutely good show. Yes, you have to pre-register for tags. Okay, is that for that swamp dog you're talking about? Alligator tags, right? I'm getting so distracted. I was going to talk about Africa, so I could like swap back there, or we can just keep going wherever we're going to go. So iguana hunting is like team airsoft hunting. I don't know if it'd exactly be like considered that, but it was just a lot of fun. Thirsty. Hey, maybe your husband can be one of those these okay. Maybe I can have my husband on these live rambling sessions sometime. I could probably make that happen. I could probably make that happen. Although Tuesday nights aren't the best for him because his job does make him wake up earlier than I do, even though it's still working from home. Also, sorry, I'm in the chair that's squeaky, so if you keep hearing that, it's because I have not gotten my new chair, like I said I was going to. I may have to come up and meet for that. Okay, yeah, just let me know, Bill. Alligator tags. Okay, so done being distracted. I think we caught up on comments. Well, now I don't even know where to start. Could be a rapid fire family ramble. That would be excellent. If I were to get my mom in on this chat could go for like 3 days straight. Not gonna lie. Y'all have only seen my mom shoot guns. You actually haven't heard her ramble. She'll be at the so the machine gun shoot's kind of like a big family gathering, right? So my whole family is going to be there, which is pretty crazy. And I could not be more excited for that. My mom's going to be helping with snacks and vending, and my dad, Lord knows where I'm going to put my dad. he'll at least be on the main firing line, and then probably wherever else I need him on there. And husband's going to be there, Chad. My sister is actually going to be out there, which is insane. I'm dragging her all the way to South Carolina with me. It's going to be awesome. And my brother's going to be out there too. So that will be, I don't know, maybe we can figure out how to go live at some point that weekend too. And maybe get in a rambling session. Oh, maybe the Tuesday before. Ideas are popping into my head. 9-hour drive for us. Whew, that is a drive. Will y'all be safe? I'm excited to have y'all out there. Charlie needs some peeps. I don't have any snacks in here right now, but I do have my Chick-fil-A because that's what we did tonight. Hey, Rachel, I saw you on Rapid Fire Radio a few weeks ago. Oh, too cool. That's awesome. Let me try to say a complete sentence. I had a really good time being on Rapid Fire Radio, and in case any of y'all didn't hear it, I think there's a link you can go listen to it, possibly. If not, or I'll have to look into that and find out for sure. But it was really fun, and naturally, Rapid Fire Rachel had to be on Rapid Fire Radio, so that was really awesome that they had me on there. I really enjoyed talking with the guys there. Can I guess what animals you hunted? I'm guessing guinea pig and ostrich. No. Absolutely not correct. But I did see ostrich, and I have so many videos I haven't posted yet from this from my trip. But no, I did see ostrich. I did not see any guinea pigs. I did see guineas though, which I guess I've always thought of guineas as just being like ducks or chickens or geese that you have like a flock of at your house. And a lot of people around here use them as like a security system because they're so loud, but they just have guineas running everywhere down there. And I didn't know until going to Africa that guineas have like a horn on their head. They're essentially a unicorn. And they kind of look like dinosaurs, and they're loud. And if you're stalking something, the guineas will give you away. So they're kind of a pain. It's kind of interesting in Africa. The birds are your worst enemy as a hunter because they will give you away. The guineas, well, there's also, I think the bird was called a quay, and they called it a go-away bird. But that thing will be like, wah, wah, anytime you get too close to anything, and it will let everything in the entire area know that you were there. And yeah. Also, I know that was a really terrible impression of a bird, but that's kind of what they sound like, I promise. Could never have a family live. Could never have a family live. It would be who could. Oh goodness, I don't know what's going on there. How was a helicopter ride? So that was a surprise. I didn't know we were doing that in Africa. That was the most incredible thing ever. I've done a lot of helicopter rides in my life. That will definitely be one of my favorites just because where it is and what we saw. We went up in the helicopter and they were telling us like different reasons they use helicopters out there. Some for like cull animals that they need to get rid of off the property. Other reasons they have it out there is because it's easier to count the animals and find out what you actually have on the property when you have property sizes that huge. So it's pretty cool to see what all they do with that. They also use it for darting animals to obviously to put them to sleep so they can relocate them to different areas. So we actually got to see a little bit of all of this happening too, which was crazy. So anyway, I got to go up in the helicopter. We did like a tour of the property, and then the helicopter pilot took us so low, and we went like we couldn't go the full length of the river that's on the property because somebody was actively hunting a crocodile and we would have ruined their hunt if we had. But we got to do a lot of it, and he got so low. It looks like in some of the video I have, it looks like we actually touched some of the high grass, which is crazy. But the videos just look like a video game, like you're doing some sort of course in a video game. It also kind of looks like it kind of looks like video from oh no, why am I blanking right now? Anyway, anyway, it's really cool. It was really cool. I'm glad we got to do it. We also got to see like giraffe chasing each other through the area, and I don't know, it was just absolutely incredible. And I think I talked about this last week too. So they did end up darting a Cape buffalo. So I got to see a Cape buffalo way up close as they were loading it in the trailer to move it to a different area, which was a really neat. And where the Cape buffalo fell after it fell asleep from the dart, it landed right next to an extremely fresh kill from a leopard. And I know the guys up in the helicopter actually saw the leopard running. We didn't see that leopard, but we did see a leopard later in the week. So I got to see, I think I said this last week too, I got to see the Big Five and the Danger Seven. So I got to see everything except a tigerfish and a hartebeest. I did not see a hartebeest the entire time we were out there, or a blesbuck. But I got to see it so much in 10 days in Africa. It's crazy. If anybody else wants to guess what animals we hunted, please feel free. Anyway, I love Chick-fil-A. Me too. I actually live in, I say something different every week, right? Like I live in the land of The Walking Dead, or the land of where they film Vampire Diaries and where they film Stranger Things. So I also live in the land of Chick-fil-A. Actually, the Cathy family used to go to church down the street from me, and when I was a kid, True Cathy would regularly be in the local Chick-fil-A. I actually got a cow from him. He came up to our table and asked us what the cow says, and the correct answer is obviously eat more chicken. So he gave me and my sister a little both little stuffed animal cows, which is pretty cool. A kudu, a lion. Okay, I did not hunt a kudu, but that is something that I absolutely want to go back and hunt. I saw the very first day we went out, we saw a monster kudu, and it was beautiful, and I would have been extremely happy with that, but I did not get the kudu, so that's okay. I'm going back. A lion, no. Gibbons buck, no, but I did see quite a few out there. Did you see a Africa cow? Is there a specific cow that's an Africa cow? I did see a lot of cows and a lot of goats and donkeys wandering around the roads, which was interesting. My hometown, where I'm from, is where they filmed The Night of the Living Dead. Oh my gosh, how cool. That's awesome. Warthog. I did not hunt a warthog, but that was on my list. So I want to go back for that too. Osprey, nope. A lot of guessing here. Water buffalo, no. Kudus are very tough to hunt in South Africa. I know they were telling us that they call them the gray ghost, and I definitely can see that. We did see, so there was one day we were sitting in a blind, and there were several, I would have thought they were big, but they were not big. So they were telling us how to identify if it's like a trophy size, I suppose. And they look at like how the how the horns spiral, I guess is the right way. But while they looked big to me because everything in Africa was gigantic, they were not considered trophy size, but it was really cool just to watch them. There were three males hanging out together in that particular area, and then as we watched them, because we were probably sitting in that blind for like maybe 2 hours, we watched them get water and then walk along, and then we saw another one that had another male that had been hanging out by himself, that was a little bit smaller, and he was hanging out over here, and then he tried to go near them, and then those three that were separate from him started running, and then we saw some females join in, and it was just really cool. It was really cool. I decided they were probably trying to kick out the little fella because they seemed like they didn't really want him around, but I don't know. I was making up stories in my head. You had that 260, so my guess is Cape buck, some kind of antelope species. My dad got a kudu on his bucket list safari. He also brought back some zebra jerky. It was pretty gamey. Okay, so I did not have. I did have quite a few different kinds of jerky, which was awesome. And it was really good. But I had zebra steak, hands down the best meat I've ever had in my life. Hands down. Hands are down. I'll put them down. Really, really daggum good. I don't know if it's the way Zuliani made it or what. These zebra were very wild. I would assume it should probably be gamey, but it was. I've been dreaming about that meal. I have pictures of it, and it was incredible. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. So, snake. I didn't see any snakes while I was out there, but it was also winter. Impala. Do I tell you? Yes, I got an impala. I will post about that sometime. Lions are my favorite animal. Love that. Anala. I did not hunt Anala. I did see several. There were some that would hang out by camp, and it was so fun looking at them. They're just really beautiful to me. And we saw some like absolutely, I don't know if you want to call them beautiful or handsome male Nala in Kruger National Park, but they are probably one of the prettiest animals to me. That and the kudus are absolutely beautiful, and I love their ears, and I like the water buck because they've got like a target on their bottom. Sable. I did not hunt a sable. Somebody else did while I was out there. Eland, another fella, while we were out there, got an eland, and we ate eland, and it was delicious. Eland and zebra, I think, were my two favorite meats. I liked all of the meat, but those were the two that stood out. Springbok. None of us hunted a springbok, but the leopard did, and we saw two dead springbok, very fresh dead springboks while we were out there. I shot a trophy blue wildebeest. Oh my goodness, fun. And a normal impala in South Africa. Awesome build. That's incredible. African armadillos. I don't know. I don't think there is armadillos in Africa, unless I'm wrong. Anybody from Africa on here that can advise? I know they have pangolins that are extremely, extremely endangered, and I would probably cry if I saw a pangolin because I'm obsessed with them, but they just cook over fire. I don't know what you're talking about, Adam, but we actually cooked over fire quite a few nights, so maybe that's what they were doing. Gaminess is 100% based on how the animal is dressed out and how the meat is prepared. Yeah, I truly believe that. It is winter in Africa, or did I mistake in what you said? Yeah, so we are or were there during the winter. So they said it was a lot cooler than it's or not supposed to be, but like obviously their summers are very hot. But yeah, some in the mornings and evenings it was like 50s. And then during the day it would get up to like high 70s. I think the hottest day while we were out there, it actually did get all the way up to 90. So I can't imagine what their summer is like, but it was considered winter while we were out there. I'm guessing it wasn't a Chevy Impala. No, it was not. But I can see why they would name a car after an Impala. You should get a vest made out of the Impala hide if you're not mounting it. So, Wait, what's happening? I'm confused by some of the comments. Impala, so no to the Jurassic Jeep. Was there something about a Jurassic Jeep up there? Deer jerky or deer steak? I love deer steak. I like steak better than jerky, but I do like jerky. A T-Rex. I didn't see any T-Rexes in Africa, but I did see a lot of big animals. Leopard, I think you have to have a special license to hunt, or I'm not even sure if you can hunt it. I don't really know how that works. There's several things that there's a lot of paperwork for. Um, we didn't do anything like that. No armadillos in Africa, from what I know. Yeah, I didn't really think so. Did you see a hippo roaming on the night drive? So, let me tell you about the hippos that we saw. So, the very minute that we arrived on the property, we heard this funny, like, I'm not going to try to make the sound because I will embarrass myself and it'll be worse than the attempt at making a guinea noise or a go away bird noise. But we heard this like really funny call and it was so loud. And there, I'm not doing it. there, they were telling us that there's a hippo that's like directly down in the dam area from camp. So I would have bet money that the hippo was right beside us with how loud it was, but there was a hippo that was basically would sound every 30 minutes in the evenings and in the mornings, and it was so cool. And then when you were looking down from the camp, you could either see them right in the edge of the water, or sometimes you could see the hippo up over the other side of the dam eating. And then the first evening that we went out, we were coming back and it was sunset, and right, I think I might have a picture, but right at the sunset, you could see the silhouette of two hippos. And it just completely made my entire trip. And that was like day one of the trip. So we saw a lot of hippos. I think they said there was 8 on the property we were at. Um, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And we actually ate hippo too. That was one of the exotic meats we had. And the interesting part, from what I understand, I don't want to communicate anything incorrect here, but from what I understand, the property that we were on, all of the hippos that are there were all relocated from farm incidences where hippos killed or injured a person, and similar to how animals are here, if a bear kills a person, they usually put the bear down. So instead of putting the hippo down for killing a farmer, they relocate the hippo to a ranch similar to what we were at. And that way, the hippo will just live out its life. Otherwise, I think there are special permits that you can hunt these particular hippos with. Um, but from what I understand on the property we were at, this may have only been the second one ever hunted. So I don't know, pretty cool that instead of just putting a hippo down for killing a person, they relocate it and then somebody pays money to hunt that hippo eventually, or the hippo just gets to live out its life and yeah, make more hippos and continue on that and live in a place where it can't injure somebody that's farming. So pretty daggum awesome, if you ask me. There were, I think they said there were 8 hippos on the property. We saw quite a few, or we saw the same ones quite a few times. And like I said earlier, we saw it eat a goat, so that was pretty crazy. What is the name of the property you stayed on? We were at it was Leadwood Ranch, but we were out there hunting with African wild safaris. Um, so hippos on possible death row, but life sentence to exile, something like that. That's a good way to explain it. Um, that's pretty cool. What did it sound like? Yeah, see, y'all are just, I think, trying to bait me into making this attempted hippo sound. But I can't do it because this particular hippo that would make the call, it was a male hippo, and he had like a funny, I think one of the other hippos and him were definitely fighting, because when we saw him, I thought he was charging at the car. That's another thing. I got false charged by an elephant in one of the cars we were in, and then when we were coming back in before we went fishing, I thought the hippo was charging the vehicle, but I think he was just trying to get back to the water, and his whole side was torn up pretty good from fighting another hippo. So that was pretty crazy. But yeah, he has like a little nose, a little snout injury. So his call is like an extra, it's got a little extra flair to it, which is really fun. But yeah, I'm not gonna, not gonna make the hippo sound, guys. I'm hoping, I'm praying that I have a little bit of video footage of this hippo sound because it was special. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the hippo. But it was really fun because it was like the very first night we fell asleep listening to the hippo. I'm gonna call it howl. And then we wake up in the morning and it's kind of like an alarm clock or a almost. I'm not making the hippo sound, Bill. This is not happening. Maybe next week. We accidentally separated a mama elephant from her child and she charged us super fast. Oh my goodness. Whew. That's nerve wracking. We had a young wolf like kind of false charge us, but I think he just had a little bit of a. I think he was hangry was what the real problem was, and we were a little bit close to him in the vehicle. We didn't realize he was there. That's the craziest thing about Africa. So like, I I have to say, I came back and I watched a few different episodes from different seasons of Naked and Afraid, and I don't understand how they did this out in Africa because unless they were to fly helicopters over and scare the hippos and the crocs away while they were walking through the Zambezi and stuff, but it makes no sense because number one, everywhere we went that had water, you would see at least a dozen crocodile of various sizes, and same with, I mean, we didn't always see a hippo, but a lot of times you saw a hippo. So I don't know how they did that. But the other thing is like I said earlier, everything, everything in Africa is armed. Even the bushes, even the trees, all of it has like a very long thorn or a little thorn or something like that. And everything can kill you. So I don't know how these people are out there with elephants. They have a really nice studio. I believe that. Actually, the fellow that owns African Wild Safaris and Leadwood Ranch, he actually leases. I think he's leasing some of the land that they film Naked and Afraid on. Um, so we were gonna go out there, but we ran out of time. But I just cannot figure out how they could possibly do that show out there with everything that can kill you. Um, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but hippo, so I really liked the hippo meat. My husband did not like it as much, but I don't know. I don't know exactly how to explain it. It was a little chewier than zebra. Um, I'm trying to think of a good meat to compare it to. I don't know. It was really tasty. I'd personally be more worried about animals that smush you than the ones that would eat you. It's that's what I'm saying. So that's where I meant to go with this. So we were primarily in the bush in Africa and then we saw like different areas that had larger trees or larger like bushes that actually had leaves on them. And everything hides so well. So like we were driving in one area and we thought we saw an elephant way off in the distance, but the way the terrain is and the different trees and whatnot, you can be trying to look off at an elephant way off in the distance on the left and not even realize that there's an elephant behind you in the bush. And they walk so quiet. Everything does. There was one night where we were sitting right before sunset. We were sitting in one of the blinds, and we could kind of see something moving off in the trees, but it's so quiet. And a Cape buffalo walks out, and then like 30 more Cape buffalo walk out, but you didn't hear them all walking until they turned around and tucked tail and ran back to the side. But it's just crazy that how everything can move so quietly when it's so massive. That the rhinos move fast and quiet. There was one night we were sitting in another blind and we were hoping to see something, and next thing we know, like something big went past the little window and it was a rhino. You didn't even hear it moving until it charged off a golden wildebeest that was trying to drink its water and eat its hay. So that was fun. It was really fun to watch that happen. But did you see any lioness and cubs? No, I didn't see any. I did not see any lioness and cubs, but I did see lions, which was pretty crazy. There was one when we were driving around Kruger Park. There was one lion laying out, sunning himself, and we stopped and watched him for a minute, and we didn't realize that had that one lion not been out there, we would have driven right past 6 other lions that were laying in the high grass. So the whole "don't go into the high grass" applies in Africa absolutely. and not just for raptors. How many days were you in Kruger National Park? We were just there for one day. When I go back, I've already been looking at spending more time out there because I honestly, guys, I could have spent my entire 10 days in there and I would have been just as happy had I done everything else I did. It was incredible. It felt very special to be there. Everything tastes like chicken. I wouldn't say everything tastes like chicken as far as these meats, but it definitely tastes like steak. Whew. Sorry, I need some water. Or that's not water, but I do have some water. Sometimes talking gets exhausting. I'm African American, FYI, but not purple. Okay. Oh, I thought there was more comments, but I think I caught up, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, anyway, so I'm. Anybody else got any other questions? Would you consider bow hunting in Africa? I personally wouldn't. I don't think so because all the animals are bigger in Africa, right? All of them have very thick skin because all of the bushes and everything are very sharp, and the animals have to have tough skins so they don't get cut open. So for me personally, I prefer, if I'm gonna hunt anything, I want to hunt it with something that's gonna knock it down as fast and humanely as possible. And I in particular I don't really want to bow hunt there. But hey, if somebody wants to, more power to you. I just always would like to get a really good shot on something and put it down as quickly as possible. Josiah, good night. Glad you were on here. It was an incredible trip to Africa, and hopefully I'll be going back next year, so I'll have more stories. People who are really dark skinned are considered purple. Interesting. I did not know that. 270 is a good round for most game in South Africa. Yeah, that's what I was reading. I used a couple of different calibers, and then I was talking with one of the PHs, Heiss, and he was telling us like if he was big on like a big caliber guy as far as wanted to dive into each individual one. So I geeked out with him a few times over dinner, or after dinner, or we were sitting around the fire just talking about different calibers and what America thinks about certain things and what they think in Africa and all that sort of stuff. So I used a 260 and then I used a 4570. Those are the two different calibers I used out there. But I think he was saying his favorite is oh no. I blanked. I can't remember what his favorite was. I should have taken more notes though, because we had so many good conversations. But when I'm on a trip like this, it's so hard to like separate. I'm working right now with I just want to be in the moment and learn everything from everybody as much as I can, but then you obviously forget things. So it's kind of hard. How was the 4570 on the hunt? It worked. It was beautiful. That's actually the first thing I used to hunt an impala. And yeah, it was a Marlin 4570 lever gun. Long live the lever gun. Love it. That I think you're saying they want you to go big. Maybe. Don't work while on vacation. Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard not to, right? 4580? I'm confused. I think if I remember correctly, Heiss was saying his favorite caliber was 470 nitro. 4570. So 4570, I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to right here, but it's a big bullet. Oh shoot. Okay, well, hey guys, I am gonna start wrapping this up, so I'll probably be on here like 4 or 5 more minutes if anybody wants to ask any particular questions before we end tonight's chat. Bill, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night. I'll check you later too. Thanks for being on here and sharing with us some of your adventures in Africa. Did you carry pistols? No. So I mentioned this last week on chat. I did not bring a gun with me this time to Africa. I used what they had at the ranch. Number one, because it was my first time leaving the country. Number two, I know what they have at the ranch is stuff that they use to hunt animals in Africa. So there was really no question about it. And I'm sure I could have asked all this beforehand too, or done research. But yeah, I just went with what they had there for simplicity. If and when I go back, that might be different just because I would really love to be able to have the gun that I take to Africa to hunt with at home with me, with whatever I do end up hunting. So, yeah, that'll probably be different in the future. Any birds from the hunt or all mammals? For me, it was all mammals. Adam, have a great night. Thanks for being on here. I'm so glad you're on here tonight. I don't know what your name is, but I see your screen name. Glad you're on here. Hope you'll be back next Tuesday. Colton, are you still gonna do a video on African hunting rifles? Yes, I gotta figure out exactly how to go about that though. So I will be doing that, and I did film a video of us training, like just practicing a few things before we ever went to Africa on what we thought we might be doing in Africa. Some of it we never used or applied, but it was still good practice, especially. I think I may have touched on this too. So we obviously have targets here. I actually got quite a few different targets from Birchwood Casey that were like a moose shaped or hog shaped or a couple of deer shaped ones. It's a good practice for sighting in and all that works. But it is interesting. The animals in Africa, their vital organs are in different spots than our animals are here. So that was super interesting to learn once we got out there. And not that it really mattered because, obviously when you're sighting it, it's more about getting a good grouping in a particular spot and you can kind of shift that per animal. But it was super interesting kind of learning all about that and where you should be aiming versus where we typically aim on animals like a deer here. But yeah, I will, and I really want to be able to do some videos on different African hunting rifles. So yes. Did they use antique guns? Not on the hunt we were on, but some of the PHs definitely had antique guns that they were either telling us about or used themselves. Yes. I'll have to look it up. What is the name of the gun for the 45? So we were using a Marlin 4570. 4570 is an old government military caliber, but it works great for hunting pretty much anything. Yes, definitely agree. Philip, thanks for being on here. Hope you have a great night. Common Sense Defense, thank you for streaming. Any new news for future subgun matches? I am hoping to have some really good news after a couple of conversations I have tomorrow for a subgun match at All American Machine Gun Shooting Gun Show. Wish me all the luck. We've had a couple of changes in the last few weeks with the shoot. Nothing about the shoot is changing, but just like having particular people in charge of some positions. So I don't know for sure if I'm going to be able to pull off a subgun match this first year, but I am doing everything in my power to be able to have them because that was a big part of why I love Knob Creek. And if I can't get a subgun match pulled together for this shoot, then we will have it for next year. But I'm gonna fight for it because I really want it there. Or maybe even if it's just a small one this year, it'll grow. But I will definitely update you as fast as I can on that. The name is Sean James. Thanks for being on here. We'll talk about all the spots and everything for the radio bill next. Well, we can talk about it before next week. I'm jumping ahead to to next Tuesday. Can't wait for All American Machine Gun Shoot. Asher, I can't wait for it either, and I'm glad you're going to be able to be there. Big difference between deer and hog hunting too. Absolutely. All right. Well, I think we're going to end it there, but thank you so much, everybody, for being on here tonight. I guess we'll close it with October 14th and 15th, All American Machine Gun Shooting Gun Show in Lawrence, South Carolina. Hope y'all can make it. And in the meantime, if y'all know of any places in South Carolina that I need to go make friends at before the shoot, drop them in my email or a comment or something or another. And I'll be back on here next Tuesday to ramble a little bit more with you. In the meantime, hope y'all have a great week and hope you get into something fun this weekend. So, all right. Check you later, guys. I feel like I could actually talk for another hour or something here, but I should probably go to bed. So good night.